The meeting will please come to order. I would ask everyone to stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight's invocation is being offered by Council Member Bruce Stanley.
I would ask everyone to pray at this time. Dear Lord, our Father, I ask that you please grant us the wisdom and the strength to conduct the business of the city at this time. And I would ask that you please be with everyone in this room, with all their loved ones and all of their family members at this time. Thank you. Amen.
Without objection, we'll suspend the calling of the roll and ask the clerk to record the names of the members present throughout the meeting. I'd ask everyone in the chamber to either find a seat or to move to the mezzanine. If you are in the chamber, you need to have a seat. Is there a motion for the adoption of our minutes from June 19th? Have a motion and a second. If there's no objection, the minutes will stand approved as written. Madam Clerk, are there any messages from the mayor?
There is a message from the mayor. Dear Vice Mayor and members of the Metropolitan Council, pursuant to recently adopted regulations of the Tennessee Comptroller's Office, when the metropolitan government undertakes a draw from one of our 2 commercial paper programs, the attached report must be submitted to the Metropolitan Council and presented at a meeting of that body before filed with the Comptroller. As you can see from the attached, on May 30th, we issued $50 million under the Water and Sewer Revenue Commercial Paper Series A and B. Please find attached a link to the offering memorandum and the city's investor relations link for additional information, or the investor relation page. Please go to the Finance Department's website. Sincerely, Carl F. Dean, Mayor.
Thank you. We're now at the point on our agenda for elections and confirmations. Councilmember Stein.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. The Rules and Confirmation Committee met with Mr. Brian Winfrey, a reappointment to the Transportation Licensing Commission. The committee recommends his approval, 9 for, none against, and I move his approval.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Mr. Winfrey had to leave, so I will not ask him to stand. And we will move on with our agenda. On your desk, you have a letter stating that there is a vacancy for the county clerk. All nominations are due in the Metropolitan Clerk's office by 4 p.m. on Tuesday, July the 10th. In addition to a written statement that they're willing to serve, that must include their name, their age, their place of residence, and the length of time the person has lived in Davidson County. They must also include a resume. And then each of the nominees will be asked to complete a written questionnaire pursuant of Rule 44. Then all the nominees will be notified to appear before the Council Rules and Confirmations Committee on July the 16th, and we will conduct an election during our council meeting on August the 7th. Councilmember Stein.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. I just wanted to point out that July 16 meeting is on Monday. It will follow the Budget, Finance, and Planning Committee meeting, so it should start basically 5:15 to 5:30. Also wanted to point out we will have our regular Rules Committee meeting on Tuesday at our normal time, and at that time we'll take up appointments. The only business on the 16th will be the interview of the candidates for the clerk's job. Thank you.
And did you need to ask for a suspension of the rules?
I did. I need to suspend the rules to adopt a resolution that accepts the resignation of John Ariola from his position as County Clerk of Davidson County. The reason it is late is obviously the timing of his resignation, and I would ask for the rules to be suspended.
Is there any objection to a suspension of the rules? Seeing none, Councilman Stein.
I would move approval of the resolution accepting his resignation.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Thank you, Councilman Stein. We're now at bills on public hearing. The first one is BL 2012-158. It amends the Metro Code pertaining to the storage of boats. Councilmember Stites.
I would just like to clarify, if anyone is here, we have number 7 and 8 on the agenda tonight are more than likely what people have come to speak about if they come to speak. So I just wanted to clarify that, but I would move to open the public hearing.
Could I have a show of hands of those in favor? Thank you. A show of hands of those in opposition. Would anyone in favor wish to speak? Come to the lectern. State your name and your address, please.
Gene King, 753 Fitzpatrick Road. Madam Vice Mayor, neighbors, and council members all. I'm Gene King, and I live and also own property on Fitzpatrick Road. These properties, my properties, are west and adjacent to the proposed boat storage facility. As I previously explained at the Planning Commission meeting, I have no problem with the construction of this site with the plans that the developer is proposing. I understand that maybe the biggest concern of this development mainly is based on additional traffic questions. This and surrounding properties are already zoned for motels, offices, and retail development. The boat storage facility would have very minimal traffic flow compared to the daily traffic that would be from motels, offices, retail establishments. The developer has agreed to make some considerable changes to this site to protect the looks of the area and also to prevent excess traffic flow to the neighborhood. Therefore, again, I would like to go on record that I am in favor of this proposed development, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is there anyone in opposition who wishes to speak? Please come to the lectern.
Thank you. My name is Andy Shivers. I live at 805 Ember Lake Drive. I live in Larchwood subdivision. And I live approximately maybe 2-3 blocks from where the development will be. I am in opposition to this proposed development. It is not compatible with the rest of the neighborhood. And many people in our neighborhoods oppose this because of that fact. We're fearful that it will impact our property values. And currently everything in the general neighborhood is consistent with the CL zoning and also consistent with the PUD. This proposal and the other two proposals that Councilman Stites has made are really, we feel like, are kind of changing the rules of the game to allow this, and it's just not consistent with our neighborhood. We have commercial, primarily commercial, and then that transitions into residential. So we urge the council to not support these resolutions and amendments. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Seeing no one else wishing to speak, I declare the public hearing closed. Councilmember Stites.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. So as our bill analysis reports, there's not a designation for boat storage in our current zoning code. So what this bill attempts to do is to create boat storage. Our district surrounds the lake, so it's obviously something that is of interest to our part of town. This is my bill. Admittedly, this bill in its current form is a bad bill. So what I'm asking is that we can pass it on second reading, get it to committee. There are some amendments that need to be offered, and I know the Planning Commission had some comments on it as well. And so I would ask for your support to pass through on second reading so we can get it into committee and then come back and address any issues that anyone has there. So with that, I move.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Next is BL 2012-173, makes provisions to appoint 41 acres of a neighborhood landmark overlay district for properties located at 609 and 611 Wedgewood Avenue, zoned R6. Councilmember Moore.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I move to open the public hearing, please.
Please raise your hand if you're in support. Please raise your hand if you're in opposition. Seeing none on either side, I declare the public hearing closed. Councilmember Moore.
I move for approval, please.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Next is BL 2012-174, amend 7.76 acres of the Seven Springs Plan Unit Development Overlay District for property located at 300 Seven Springs Way, zoned OR 40, to permit 280 multifamily units where office space was previously approved. Councilmember Banks.
Move to open public hearing.
Thank you. Please raise your hand if you're in support. Thank you. Please raise your hand if you're in opposition. Seeing no one in opposition, does anyone in support wish to speak? Seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. Councilmember Banks.
Move approval.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2012-175 changes .26 acres from SP to R6 zoning for property located at 24 Lincoln Street. Councilmember Moore.
Vice Mayor, I need to move this. I need to defer this to the public hearing in August.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion to defer passes. BL 2012-176 changes .31 acres from SP zoning, permitting a 7,500 square foot automobile repair and service facility, to SP zoning to permit a 4,000 square foot automotive repair and service facility for property located at 2849 Logan Street. Councilmember Tenpenny.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'd open public hearing.
Please raise your hand if you're in support. Thank you. Please raise your hand if you're in opposition. Seeing no one in opposition, does anyone in support wish to speak? Seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. Councilmember Tenpenny.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to move for approval.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2012-177 changes 3.57 acres from RM40 to SP zoning for property located at 111 Ackland Park Drive to permit up to 347 multifamily units. Councilmember Langster.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. I would ask to open the public hearing, please.
Please raise your hand if you're in support. Thank you. Please raise your hand if you're in opposition. Seeing no one in opposition, does anyone in support wish to speak? Seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. Councilmember Langster.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. I move for approval, please.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2012-178 changes 2.33 acres from CS to SP zoning for properties located at 2355 and 2372 Gallatin Pike to permit auto sales used, automobile repair, automobile services, and automobile parking. Councilmember Perdue.
Move to open public hearing, please.
Please raise your hand if you're in support. Thank you. Please raise your hand if you're in opposition. Seeing no one in opposition, does anyone in support wish to speak? Seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. Councilmember Perdue.
Move for approval, please.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Without objection, we can take BL 2012-179 and 180 together. Seeing none, BL 2012-179 changes 3.6 acres from CL to SC zoning for property located at Percy Priest Drive, unnumbered, west of Bell Road. BL 2012-180 amends 3.6 acres of the Larkwood Commercial Plan Unit Development Overlay District located on Percy Priest Drive, unnumbered, approximately 1,075 feet west of Bell Road, Zone CL, and proposed for CS to permit the development of a self-storage facility. Councilmember Stites.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I move that we open the public hearing, please.
Please raise your hand if you're in support. Thank you. Please raise your hand if you're in opposition. Anyone in support wish to speak, please line up at the lectern.
Vice Mayor, neighbors, members of the council, my name is Tom White. I live at 36 Old Club Court. I represent the applicant in this matter. This is a matter that was approved by the Planning Commission 7-0, and in fact, you heard comments earlier about the proposed ordinance by Councilman Stites, which addresses this very matter. Currently, there's not a zoning category for boat storage in Davidson County. That'll be remedied under the bill that he has proposed. With respect to the neighborhood meetings, I want to comment at the front end that the councilman had several very well-attended neighborhood meetings. There was a lot of input. My client continued to work with the councilman and the staff of the Planning Commission to make sure those changes were incorporated. The reasons that drove this from the Planning Commission, from their 7-0 unanimous approval, are basically this. What's currently proposed on the property would have significantly greater square footage, approximately 34,000 square feet. It would allow a hotel, it would allow an office building. Our proposal is a one-story boat storage facility. It's an excellent transition from a residential area in the back. We honor a 50 to 100 foot tree line that's there that we will not impact. It's mandated that all the traffic go to the right, basically towards the lake. In addition, the boat traffic on this site, as most of you know, is generally there for 5 or 6 months a year, as opposed to the hotel traffic and office traffic, which is there 24/7, 365 days a year. That generally carried the day with most of the neighbors. It was not unanimous, but there was huge support from the neighbors basically at the neighborhood meeting and frankly at the Planning Commission meeting, which resulted in the 7-0 approval. But from the transition, you go from residential, you go to the boat storage, and then to go to commercial and retail facing Stewart's Ferry Pike. That was a key thing to the Planning Department, and it was very important to the Planning Commission when they approved this matter. We respectfully ask for your approval of this matter, and thank you for your courtesies.
Thank you.
My name's Jason Padgett. I'm the applicant here. Me and my family own Modern Marine and have for almost 40 years. So we have a pretty good handle on the boat industry in general, and found a need for boat storage out near Percy Priest Lake. When we first started this, we wanted to gauge the interest, and we did that, and it was overwhelming that there is a need for that. So what we did is we went around the neighborhood surrounding this particular property and had several neighborhood meetings to address any concerns or anything that anybody might have against it. We sent out 253 invitations to this meeting, and approximately 15 showed up. We listened to them, like I said, to get an idea of what concerns they might have. Tom had addressed some of them, the buffer. We left the tree line there because we thought that would be a good buffer with the neighborhood that's adjacent to it. The right turn only, like he had mentioned, so that the traffic does not go through the neighborhood, but it goes directly to the lake. Some were concerned about if we change the zoning, is that going to affect way on down the road this particular property? Well, we addressed that by amending the bill, making it where only boat storage can go here. So way on down the road, worst case scenario, nobody could come in here and do any kind of wild development on top of it. So again, we've addressed any concerns as best we can. After those neighborhood meetings, I personally went door to door to have reached as many people as I could, but I was able to speak with 59 different residents, and 55 were in favor of this. So of the 59, only 4 were against this development. Currently, of course, we don't have any pictures, but if you were to see this particular property, it's essentially a dumping ground for somebody's junk. So aesthetically, this is going to be something that's going to improve the neighborhood, improve the appearance of the neighborhood. It fits the area, like Tom had said. Percy Priest Lake is right there within a mile of this, so it's a good thing for the community in general. It's the least intrusive from a traffic standpoint. So it's not, I mean, like he said, there's only 5 months out of the year that people actually use boats. So the rest of the year, nobody would be coming and going from this particular property. And I've been in constant contact with Josh Stites through this, so we've done everything that we've been asked to do. So I ask that you vote in favor.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Eric Rubash. I reside and own property at 764 Fitzpatrick Road. I also spoke at the Metro Planning Commission, and I am in favor of this. When I first heard about the boat storage, my initial gut reaction was, well, that makes sense. Percy Priest is, a mile down the road, and it'd be pretty nice. Now, if it was little small John boats and aluminum boats, those kind of storage, I may be a little iffy on it, but since we're talking about high-end luxury boats, 24-foot Cobalts and Chaparrals, it's a nice addition to our community. I probably more than anybody in our neighborhood are down in that area. I walk my dog down there. I wish I could show you a picture I took this afternoon of the big toilet that's sitting in the middle of their property right now with junk all around it. And I'm pretty sure all of us would be opposed to that continuing. But, for me, and actually I speak on behalf of my neighbor across the street, Judy, who owns 7 properties in the area, who also spoke at Metro Council but can't be here. It makes sense. I don't think it'll hurt us traffic-wise. I have a boat in storage I haven't been to in 3 years. So I'm looking forward to seeing it grow. I've gotten to know the Padgetts. I've seen their architectural renderings, and they look real solid, and I'm excited about it. So I hope you approve it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jeremy Etheridge. I live at 780 Fitzpatrick. I'm a realtor in the area, and I support this because, like everybody before me said, it just makes sense. As a realtor in the area, I'm constantly dealing with people, trying to figure out what they're going to do with their boats. My garage isn't big enough. What are we going to do with the boats? A lot of neighborhoods won't allow for the boat storage in the driveway, so in the area it makes sense. It serves as a great buffer between the hospitality and the residential areas. I've looked at the plans. The plans are good plans, and I don't see the traffic being an issue at all, and I hope you guys vote for it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Patricia Lewis. I live at 3355 Percy Priest Drive, and I'm definitely in favor of this amendment. They have worked with us on every meeting. He's sat down and talked with us and addressed our concerns, and you were there. They've just been a wonderful, wonderful group to work with. The other individuals that have proposed items before did not want to work with us. They did not want to address the concerns that the homeowners or the business people in the area had. I think this is a very good transition, as everybody has spoken before, from the hotels and motels to our individual home areas. That if it was zoned for commercial, for restaurants, or for liquor stores, we would have the type of individuals driving in that area that we really don't want. These individuals are high-end boats. They are individuals that are more concerned about taking care of their property and the property around them. So I would ask you to vote in favor for this. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition, please come to the lectern.
My name is Andy Shivitz. Once again, I live at 805 Ember Lake Drive. I live in Larchwood subdivision, approximately 3 blocks from the development. And as I stated earlier, I'm in opposition to this. A number of people in our neighborhood is in opposition. We have had a petition with almost 99 names on it, I think, that are in opposition to this. There's been a lot of irregularities in this process. For one, I mean, we're having a public meeting and a public hearing on this, a contested issue the night before one of the largest holidays of the summer season, and a lot of people are on vacation and things of that nature, and I think that's something that needs to be considered here. Other irregularities are that the applicant, they have been advertising the spaces in this proposed boatyard or boat shed yard since back in March or so, which seems highly irregular when you don't even have your zoning changed and you don't have your PUD changed. It just, it kind of makes you a little uneasy as a resident and as a voter. Some other irregular, there are a number of other things that have happened, contrary to what their council just said. Most of the people at the meetings opposed the issue. They opposed the zoning. They opposed the changing of the PUD, and yet our councilman has continued to push forward with this based on, according to a letter he sent, that he was going. His majority is based on close proximity to the project. And granted, yeah, the people, they have met with us and everything, but as I said, it's not going to provide a nice transition to our neighborhood. And the other half of this that doesn't get mentioned is there's another several acres that this parcel is subdivided from that we're probably going to be here having to deal with the same issues further on. So once again, we appreciate your support. I would like for you to ask yourselves, would you like a boat shed in the front of your neighborhood? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Seeing no one else wishing to speak, I declare the public hearing closed. Councilmember Stites.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Again, I want to thank everyone who came out tonight, both in favor and in opposition. And as we started this process, I apologize because this is my first zoning, and so I appreciate everyone, again, for and against, that have bared with me through this process as I've kind of figured out how everything works. There are a lot of people in support of this. There are some people that are opposed to this, but overall, I think it's a good thing for the neighborhood, for what it would prevent in the future, but also what it would provide right now. So with that, I would move approval.
Second. Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2012-181 amends the Metro Code pertaining to the membership of the Metro Historic Zoning Commission. Councilmember Claiborne.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Open the public hearing, please.
Please raise your hand if you're in support. Please raise your hand if you're in opposition. Seeing no one on either side, I declare the public hearing closed. Councilmember Claiborne.
Yes, I move for approval, please.
Have a motion and a second. Councilmember Gilmore, you wish to be recognized on this?
Yeah, just quickly, I shared this with Councilmember Claiborne as well, that this was something that affected my district, and in the future, I think he should come to me versus sponsoring those bills. And I shared it with him personally, and I just wanted to share it once again because it seems like it continues to go forward. Thank you.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. We're now at BL 2012-182, amends the Metro Zoning Code to create on-site agricultural sales as a new use to be permitted with conditions in the AG and AR2A zoning district and specifying the applicable conditions and signage standards. Councilmember Holloman.
Move to open the public hearing.
Please raise your hand if you're in support. Thank you.
On third reading.
Please raise your hand if you're in opposition.
To do what?
Seeing no one in opposition, does anyone in support wish to speak? Seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. Councilmember Holloman.
I'd like to move approval with just a brief explanation.
Have a motion and a second. Councilman.
I have a couple of amendments on this bill that are being entertained. One in particular as to baked goods that was included in the list of items, and I've heard from some people that run bakeries that are concerned about that. Councilman Bedney also has a proposed amendment regarding setbacks, and I intend to look at both of those amendments and will likely make at least one of those on third reading. So just want to let everybody know that and be aware of that. With that, I renew my motion for approval on second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Next is BL 2012-183, amends various sections of the Metro Code to refine standards for the alternative zoning districts relating to building placement and bulk standards. Councilmember Claiborne.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Open the public hearing, please.
Please raise your hand if you're in support. Please raise your hand if you're in opposition. Seeing no one on either side, I declare the public hearing closed. Councilmember Claiborne.
Move for approval.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. We're now at bills, resolutions on the consent agenda. RS 2012, 316, 317, 318, 319, 320, 321, 322, 323, 24, 325, 326, 327, 328, 329, 330, 332, 334, 335, 336, 337, 339, 340, 341. Are there any of those that need to be pulled from the consent agenda? Councilmember Evans.
I don't think I want to pull any of them, but I want to be shown as abstaining on the bond resolutions. So does that mean I have to pull them to do that?
If there's just one, we can. If you're the only one, we don't have to pull them.
Okay, and you didn't say 331 as a consent item, right? Because that's...
No.
Okay, thank you.
I did not.
Sorry, that was a long list.
We will note that you're abstaining from the...
316, 317, 318.
Okay.
319 and 320.
Okay. First is RS 2012-316, determines to issue general obligation qualified energy conservation bonds of the metropolitan government in the amount not to exceed $10 million. RS 2012-317 authorizes the execution, terms, and issuance, sale, and payment of general obligation qualified energy conservation bonds in the amount not to exceed $10 million. RS 2012-318 determines to issue district energy system revenue and tax refunding obligation bonds of the metropolitan government in the amount not to exceed $55 million. RS 2012-319 amends Resolution RS 2002-1124 and authorizes the issuance of district energy system revenue and tax refunding bonds in the amount not to exceed $55 million. RS 2012-320 authorizes the issuance of taxable general obligation refunding bonds in the amount not to exceed $235 million. RS 2012-321 approves a grant from the State Department of Human Services to the Davidson County Juvenile Court to establish and enforce federal and state mandated child support program guidelines for children born out of wedlock. RS 2012-322 approves an amendment to a grant from the Tennessee Commission on Children and Youth to the Davidson County Juvenile Court for ongoing professional training for juvenile court probation officers. RS 2012-323 approves a grant from the State Department of Finance and Administration to the Office of the District Attorney General to work with Hispanic victims of crime and their family who find the criminal justice system disorienting due to language limitations and cultural understanding. RS 2012-324 approves a grant from the State Department of Finance and Administration to the Metro Police Department to pay a portion of the salary of a crisis counselor from the Victim Intervention Program. RS 2012-325 approves an amendment to a contract for services between the Metro Board of Health and United Neighborhood Health Services, Inc. to provide health care services at the downtown clinic. RS 2012-326 approves a grant from the Greater Nashville Regional Council to the Metro Social Services Commission to provide personal care services, homemaker services, and nutrition choices to eligible clients under the Options Program. RS 2012-327 approves a grant from the State Department of Human Services to the Metro Social Services Commission for adult homemaker services. RS 2012-328 approves a grant from the Greater Nashville Regional Council to the Metro Social Services Commission for congregate meal sites, meal delivery services, transportation for eligible seniors and disabled residents. RS 2012-329 appropriates funds from a low-income home energy assistance program grant from the State Department of Human Services to the Metro Action Commission. RS 2012-330 appropriates grant funds from the State Department of Human Services to Metro Action Commission to provide adult basic education. RS 2012-332 approves a grant from Greenways for Nashville to the Metro Board of Parks and Recreation to provide funding for the salary and benefits of the Executive Coordinator of Greenways for Nashville and one part-time position. RS 2012-334 recognizes Tennessee Magazine Publishing Entrepreneur Newspaper Publishing Chief Executive Ms. Rosetta Miller Perry. RS 2012-335 recognizes Paul Regalado, President and Chief Executive Officer for the Metropolitan Nashville Airport Authority, on his retirement. RS 2012-336 recognizes Catholic Charities of Tennessee, Inc. on the occasion of their 50th anniversary. RS 2012-337 recognizes Futuro, an inclusive professional development association for Latino college students in Middle Tennessee. RS 2012-339 honors Infinity Cat Recordings on its 10th anniversary as one of Nashville's best independent labels. RS 2012-340 recognizes July as Park and Recreation Month in the city of Nashville. And RS 2012-341 recognizes Tuesday, August 7th, 2012 as Nashville's Night Out Against Crime. I need committee reports from the following folks. Councilmember McGuire, Budget and Finance.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Budget and Finance voted to approve RS 2012-316, 317, 318, 319, 320, 321, 322, 323, 324, 325, 326, 327, 328, 329, 330, and 332 with a vote of 14-4, none against.
Thank you. Health, Hospitals, and Social Services, Councilmember Langster.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Health, Hospital, and Social Service voted to approve Resolution 2012-325, 326, 327, 328, 329 and 330 with a unanimous vote of 4-4, 0 against.
Thank you. Councilmember Jernigan, Parks and Libraries.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Parks, Library, and Rec voted to pass 332, 7-0.
Thank you. Public Safety, Councilmember Mitchell.
Yes, Public Safety approved RS 2012-324, 7-0.
Thank you. Councilmember Stein, Rules.
Rules approved 334, 335, 336, 337, 339, 340, and 341, 9-4, none against.
Would you move approval of the consent agenda, please?
I apologize. I move approval of the consent agenda.
We have a motion and a second on the consent agenda. Councilmember Gilmore, we're on the consent agenda. All in favor of the consent agenda, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Consent agenda passes. Next on our regular agenda is RS 2012-296, authorizes the Director of Public Property to purchase property at Pumping Station Road, 1214 Lebanon Pike, and 1450 Lebanon Pike for the Metropolitan Department of Water and Sewage Services. Councilmember Gilmore.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports.
Councilmember Hunt.
Public Works approved, 10-4, 0 against.
Thank you. Councilmember Gilmore.
I move for approval. I have amendment. Okay, I move the amendment.
We have a motion and a second on the amendment. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The amendment passes. Councilmember Gilmore.
All right, then I move for approval.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Next is RS 2012-331, authorizes the Director of Public Property to purchase real property at 3400 Hobbs Road near Julia Green Elementary School for the Board of Education. Councilmember McGuire.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports, please.
Councilmember Claiborne.
Planning, Zoning, and Historic Committee voted to defer indefinitely, 12-4, 0 against.
Councilmember Glover.
Education Committee voted to defer indefinitely, 4-4-0 against.
Councilmember McGuire.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Budget and Finance voted to defer indefinitely, 13-4, 1 against, and I would move to defer indefinitely.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of indefinite deferral, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Indefinite deferral passes. Next is RS 2012-333, approves the property at 1000 Apex Avenue to be used for a waste transfer facility. Councilmember Scott Davis.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports, please.
Councilmember Hunt.
Public Works voted to disapprove, 10-4, 0 against.
Councilmember Claiborne.
Planning, Zoning, and Historic Committee voted to disapprove, 12 for disapproval, 0 against.
Councilmember Scott Davis.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I would like to move for disapproval with a brief explanation, and also I'd like to call for a machine vote, please.
We have a motion and a second. Councilmember.
This process, been a lot of sweat, a lot of tears, and for some of the constituents, a lot of blood. And I say that because at the end of the day, we're all residents of Nashville, the greatest city in the United States as far as I'm concerned. And right now, I just want everyone to know that I'm moving for disapproval after several community meetings and several other meetings in the district. It's overwhelmingly clear that the district does not want this. And I'm going to support the people in my district by asking the whole body, please vote for disapproval of this facility. Thank you, and I move for disapproval with a machine vote.
Councilmember Maynard.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I appreciate it. I also appreciate the work that Councilman Davis has done. I appreciate all that he has gone through in representing his district and doing a fine job under very difficult situations. I support Councilman Davis. He and I are friends. We talk constantly. I just wanted to give an explanation because there were so many things that were said and misinformation about my role and about why I was voting to support this transfer station. I wanted to tell you a little bit about my experience in that when I was a private citizen. I worked as the chairman of JUMP, Jefferson Street United Merchants Partnership, where we went around the neighborhood of North Nashville looking for vacant lots, abandoned buildings, trying to find private investors to come in to develop those areas because of high crime, because of illegal dumping, and because the quality of life was not where it should be. We were successful sometimes, we failed sometimes. Personally, I lived near a house that was abandoned. I called the police over 20-something times. They came out. Drug dealers were arrested. Prostitutes were arrested. My house was broken into twice. I know what it's like to live near an abandoned building. I know what it's like to have people to illegally dump in an abandoned building. I live right adjacent to it. You can check the police records. When I was single, my house was broken into. I just chalked it up as material goods. I'll get it back. I then got married and had a son. My house was broken into. That was enough. So we were able to get the house demolished. We were able to then block the entrance into the driveway of the property. I have not had any problems since that building has been demolished. I was asked to come to support this particular transfer station at a time before all of the public meetings had concluded. I was asked to support this bill. I did not come by my own, but I was asked to support it. Before I supported it, I said I needed to look at the location. I wanted to meet with the neighbors. I wanted to see what the crime reports were, and I wanted to find out what the neighbors thought. So when I went over to see the Apex site, I saw something that was horrible. It was a dump site. It was an illegal landfill. They had appliances and tires and furniture. It was just horrendous. As we were looking at the site, we also saw graffiti. I then saw two neighbors and two different families who lived across the street from the Apex site. Me being me, I went across the site and asked them about it. I said, what's going on over here? They said there's drug dealing doing over there, prostitution over there, 2 people were killed over here. This is a high crime problem. Look at the illegal dumping, look what's going on. As I listened to them, I thought about the time that I lived near an abandoned building. And so I said, well, I know what do you want us to do? You gotta do something. I know that the waste station is not the preferred business for that abandoned building. I get that. I get that Councilman Davis has worked extremely hard. I understand that. Here's what I hope, that all the 600 people that send emails, for all the 263 people who signed petitions for this waste station, for the 600 people that sent emails against the waste station, I would ask that you will come together and say that the status quo for that Apex site is unacceptable. If a waste station is unacceptable, drug dealing and prostitution and murder should be unacceptable. Now, I love East Nashville too. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask that all of us work together, because I love those 2 families that I talked to. Don't abandon those 2 families. I know what the vote's going to be. I understand that. But after you defeat this and vote yes on this motion to disapprove, don't abandon those families that live across the street from this horrendous site that is a dump. Please don't abandon them. Work together with them. Work with Councilman Davis so we can improve that neighborhood. Thank you.
Councilmember Holloman.
Previous question.
I have a motion. Second, all in favor of previous question, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Previous question passes. The motion is to disapprove. If you want to vote to disapprove, you vote yes. If you don't want to disapprove, you vote no. Madam Clerk, will you close the machines and tally the vote?
37 aye, 1 no, 0 abstentions.
The motion to disapprove passes 37-1. Sorry, we cannot have those outbursts. Next is RS 2012-225, requests Mayor Dean and the Metro Water Services to designate as a priority capital project the installation of a 6-inch water main on Brando Road from Central Pike to its intersection from Hoggett Ford Road and the extension of that water main onto the intersection Hoggett Ford Road. Councilmember Stanley.
Committee reports, please.
Councilmember Hunt.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. The Public Works Committee voted 10-0 to defer 1 meeting.
Councilmember Stanley.
I will ask that this resolution be deferred 1 meeting, and I would like an opportunity for the Chair of Public Works, Councilman Hunt, and I to work with John Cooper to have an appropriate wording in a resolution, a substitute resolution that will come before the Metro Council. I would like to submit.
We have a motion.
Yes.
We have a motion for a 1 meeting deferral, and we have a second. Councilmember Stanley.
I would just like to submit as public record this letter that was received by each and every member of the Metro Council. It's from Long Foundation Drilling Company, was an industry. It's an industry that is located on Brandondale Road. That's a public street that is served only by a 2-inch water main. Now, because it has a 2-inch water main, they need a 6-inch water main to allow for the installation of fire hydrants. And because there are 6 industries up on Brandondale Road, it needs to have a 6-inch water main up Brandondale Road. That's about 1.1 mile in length. And the fire department is in strong support of this resolution as well. I also would like to inform the resident citizens that you received information from the water department. This is a lame excuse for voting against this resolution. I've made a motion to defer this resolution, give Chairman Hunt and I an opportunity to work with John Cooper to provide an alternative wording for this resolution. But I want to mention the fact that one of the reasons that this is lame is it states that this is in the GSD. And it states that there are numerous situations that have occurred throughout the GSD in Davidson County that are not sponsored or that are not supported by water services. But I will say that in 1995, in May of 1995, the state government, through the General Assembly, they gave water services the authority to buy out private utilities all throughout Davidson County. And in June of 2003, the water services officials met with me and with citizens of District 14 and as well as District 11, District 12, and they informed us that they were finalizing the purchase of the Cumberland Utility District. And so with that, water services is responsible for the entire Davidson County area. I will say that in 1978, Metro Nashville built a fire hall at the corner of Plantation Drive and Old Hickory Boulevard. That's in the GSD. And in 2009, 2011, by cooperating with the Carl Dean administration, we were able to get the installation through the Metro Water Services, the installation of 48 fire hydrants in the older subdivisions in the GSD section of District 14. So this statement that because it's in the GSD, Water Services has no responsibility, no liability toward installing any fire hydrants or any water main upgrades is completely trash. I want everybody to understand that Metro Water Services, when they purchased the Cumberland Utility District and when they purchased the private Harpeth Valley Utility District, they took on the responsibilities of these private utilities. I think it's our responsibility as a council, as a legislature of this city, to make sure that these departments follow through with their responsibilities. And with that, I will say that I'm making a motion that this resolution be deferred, and that I work with Chairman Hunt and with John Cooper to have the appropriate language.
Seeing no other persons wishing to speak on the motion to defer, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion to defer passes. RS 2012-226 requests the mayor and the Metro Nashville Public Schools to include the construction of a new high school in the Hermitage area as part of the capital spending plan for fiscal year 2012-2013. Councilmember Stanley.
Committee reports, please.
Councilmember Glover.
Education Committee voted 4-0 against.
Councilmember McGuire.
Budget and Finance voted to approve as substituted, 14-4, none against.
Thank you. Councilmember Stanley.
I will appreciate it. I make a motion for the passage for the approval of this resolution, this substitute resolution, because I have a brief explanation after this motion is.
We have a motion on the substitute and a second. All in favor of the substitute, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Substitute passes. Councilmember Stanley.
I have a couple of reports I want to submit.
Do you want to make a motion on the bill as substituted?
I make a motion that it be approved.
We have a motion and a second on the bill as substituted. Councilmember Stanley.
I have a couple of reports that I want to submit as part of public record with the resolution. The first is the McGavock Cluster Capital Needs Committee report that was adopted by the mayor, Mayor Bill Purcell, and also the director of schools at that time in 2001. That was 11 years ago. And with that, we've seen a number of capital projects that were not included in the school improvement plan that had moved forward by the Board of Education. The second one is the report for a new DuPont High School in the Hermitage Old Hickory community. There's only one high school serving this community, and that is McGavock High School. I'm a 1981 graduate of McGavock High School. I have a lot of respect and a lot of pride for McGavock High School, but I think everyone should understand that Donaldson, Hermitage, and Old Hickory has a population of 89,000 people. McGavock High School is 498,000 square feet in size, and it also has a large population, a student enrollment of over 2,000 people. What's more, I have established a parent advisory board that's been working, and they want to work with the Metro Council, with the Board of Education, and with the mayor to make sure that a new DuPont High School is placed in the Hermitage Old Hickory community to supplement the comprehensive curriculum that's offered at McGavock High School. And with that, I will say that I'm very appreciative of Councilman Jernigan for his support of this resolution, and I would ask that he speak on this if he has anything to say.
Councilmember Jernigan.
Thank you, Councilman Stanley. I do rise in support of this. I went to DuPont High School in 1986, and I was there when it closed, and ended up being the second graduating class at Hunters Lane. It's been 26 years, and out of all those schools that closed down, the Goulitsville, the Madison, and we still have 3,500 active alumni. I guess you all can tell by your emails that get very passionate about a school. So when it does come time in the future, this lays the groundwork for that to happen. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The bill is substituted, passes. Next is RS 2012-338, recognizes the 100th anniversary of the Hume Fogg Academic Magnet High School. There needs to be a suspension of the rules. Councilmember Gilmore.
Yes, I would like to ask for a suspension of the rules with a brief explanation, and then do I ask for committee reports?
First, tell us why we need a suspension of the rules.
Okay, yes. I would like to ask the council members for the suspension of the rules, not because the bill was filed late, but because of the type of we're having a hand-scripted scroll, and normally it's done for persons, and I'm requesting that it be done for an institution that is 100 years old. We just celebrated the 50-year anniversary of metropolitan government, and this is 100 years, so I think it's exciting because it's something that is a part of the metropolitan government, and Hume Fogg is an awesome school. Councilmember Weiner said that her grandfather graduated, and Councilmember Allen said that her daughter graduated, and it normally costs $300, but Councilmember Allen said she's going to chip in, and I'm going to secure the rest of the funds.
Is there any objection to a suspension of the rules? Seeing none, Councilmember Gilmore.
Yes, I move for approval.
Need a committee report from Councilmember
Yes, committee
Stein.
report.
9 for, none against.
Thank you, Councilmember Gilmore.
Yes, I move for approval.
We have a motion and a second. You were going to add about the...
Oh, yes. And I was just going to say that I'm personally securing the funds, so it will be no cost to the metropolitan government. Councilmember Allen's decided to kick in the first, so if anyone else would like to, I'm more than gladly welcome that. Thank you.
We have a motion and a second on the resolution. All in favor, please say aye. Okay. Opposed, no. Motion passes. We're now at bills on introduction and first reading. Are there any that need to be pulled? Is there a motion for their approval? We have a motion and a second for all bills on first reading. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Now we're at bills on second reading. The first is BL 2012-161, amends the Metro Code to require all new employees of metropolitan government to be residents of Davidson County. Councilmember Tiger.
Thank you. I would move to defer indefinitely with a brief explanation.
We have a motion and a second. Councilman Tiger.
Yeah, I know there's some council members that want to do some research as to what other cities do, and out of respect to them, I'm happy to do so. I don't want to give my good friend Mr. Garrett any more fodder to make witty comments possible. He doesn't come up with many, but when he does, they're good. But I do want to just share some data with you as to why I think things since 1994 as it relates to employment. I understand people's ability to live wherever they want to, but if you're seeking a good government job with pension and benefits, let me just tell you how things have changed since 1994. If you take away the elected officials and you take the almost 100 of the highest paid Metro employees, other than the elected officials who obviously live in Davidson County, 1 out of every 3 of our highest paid employees, our department heads, do not live in this county. I want you to let that sink in. Mike Curl and John have done a good job tracking this down, but 1 out of 3 of our highest compensated employees have chosen to take their tax base, their families outside of Davidson County. In the range of $60,000 to $70,000 for earnings, 46% of Metro employees that make between $60,000 and $70,000, almost half, don't think Davidson County is the place for them to live. So we've gone in 1994 where 100% of our employees, other than those on waivers, lived in this county, to now basically 1 out of every 3 employees, and the trend, I think, as the tax differential and other factors come into play. So we've obviously got flight of Metro employees across county lines. So I'm not going to ask for approval. We're going to defer and see what other towns and cities. I want to get with Chief Anderson. He wrote a very thoughtful and well-intentioned letter that perhaps with the ability for waivers and the ability for extenuating circumstances or needs to move outside the county, if that needs to be broadened so that we don't lose the best and brightest, I'm willing to go that route. So I know this is a long-winded deferral, but this data is there, and I hope you'll give it consideration and come to me with any of your thoughts and concerns. Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second for disapproval, or no? Deferring, sorry.
What are you talking about?
Sorry. Well, you weren't addressing me, so I didn't know. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Next is BL 2012-162, amends the Metro Code pertaining to health insurance benefits for members of the Metropolitan Council. Councilmember Todd.
Committee reports, please.
Councilmember Berry.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Personnel Committee, at the request of the sponsor, voted 5-4-0 against to defer indefinitely to track with recommendations from the HR Study and Formulating Committee recommendations.
Thank you. Councilmember McGuire.
Budget and Finance voted to defer indefinitely to track with the Study and Formulating Committee recommendations, 14-4, none against.
Thank you. Councilmember Todd.
And I would move to defer to track with that same proposed legislation.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2012-184 amends the official street and alley acceptance and maintenance map by abandoning a portion of the 25th Avenue South right-of-way and easements. Councilmember Allen.
Committee reports, please.
Councilmember Claiborne.
Planning, Zoning, and Historic Committee voted to approve 12-4-0 against.
Councilmember Harrison.
Traffic and Parking voted to approve 7-4-0 against.
Councilmember Hunt.
Public Works approved 10-4-0 against.
Thank you. Councilmember Allen.
There is a substitute that simply adds an easement in the area that's being abandoned. I would move the substitute.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Amendment passes. Okay. Councilmember Allen.
And I would move for approval as amended, please.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2012-185 authorizes the acquisition of a sewer line easement on property located at 1114 Brookmead Drive. Councilmember McGuire.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports, please.
Councilmember Claiborne.
Planning, Zoning, and Historic Committee voted to approve 12-4-0 against.
Councilmember Hunt.
Public Works approved 10-4-0 against.
Councilmember McGuire.
Budget and Finance voted to approve 14-4, none against, and I move approval.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2012-186 authorizes Metro government to donate a floating dock to the Middle Tennessee Council of the Boy Scouts of America. Councilmember Tigert.
Having been approved by all...
Councilmember McGuire.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Budget and Finance voted to approve 14-4, none against.
Councilman Garrett deliberately distracted me.
Is there a motion, Councilman?
I have a motion to approve with a brief explanation. I'm going to get him again.
We have a motion and a second. Councilmember.
Vice Mayor, I'm going to speak directly to you, although I would love to turn. Councilman Garrett asked me, why are you sponsoring a boat dock legislation? And I said, because I'm an Eagle Scout. And he says, well, so am I. So next time we'll get him on there. One of the good things, if you can call it a good thing from the flood, is there were opportunities of when the property was donated and abandoned and the city bought so that we could reestablish our floodplains and whatnot. This was a good situation where the city acquired a boat dock, and the Boy Scouts at Camp Boxwell had a need for this, so this ordinance accepts this and moves it over. So I appreciate you allowing me to make that mention of the Boy Scouts.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Next is BL 2012-99, amends 0.44 acres of the SP district for the previously approved H&M Motor Specific Plan District located at 1525 4th Avenue South to permit auto sales new, auto sales used, auto service, and all uses permitted in MULA zoning, and to remove the condition for a sidewalk along Mallory Street. Councilmember Moore.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I was distracted as well. I would like to move the amendment on this bill.
Would you like a committee report?
Committee report, please.
Councilmember Claiborne.
Before I give my report, I'd just like to commend Councillady Moore on her diligence in working through this this bill. She's had this for several weeks now, and it's gone through 2 or 3 different iterations, and she's done an excellent job in working with all the parties involved here, and I'm glad to report that the Planning, Zoning, and Historic Committee voted to approve 12-4-0 against.
Thank you, Councilmember Moore.
I would like to move the amendment on this bill.
We have a motion and a second on the amendment. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The amendment passes.
It's my turn. Okay. I would move to approve the bill as amended.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes.
Oh, Lordy.
BL 2012-164 approves an agreement with Volunteer State Community College and the Metro Nashville Fire Department's EMS office and emergency ambulance and rescue services for students enrolled in the emergency medical technician programs. Councilmember Mitchell.
Yeah, with all committee reports in, I'd move for approval.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2012-165 approves an agreement between Metro Government and the Nashville Soccer LLC for the lease of the premises of Eazell Park. Councilmember Dominy.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I move for approval with a brief explanation.
I have a motion and a second. Councilman.
With all committee reports in, there was some discussion during the committee meetings yesterday about our ability to use this as a city more than a single day a year, and Councilman Taggart has something he'd like to place into the public record regarding that from the owners of the Nashville Metros, that they're more than willing to make it available to the city, and I want to make sure that takes place, but once he's done that, I ask for approval.
Thank you. Councilman Taggart.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. And based on our conversations yesterday at Budget and Finance, I do have in my possession and would like to make part of the public record a very nice offer from Lynn Agee of the Nashville Metros that clarifies that Metro will have the use of the facility at least 2 days a year, and that appropriate gate emissions and concession revenue will remain part of the city or the sponsoring organization.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Councilman Dominy.
Thank you. And folks, the owners of the Metros have invested in the Southeast Davidson County area to provide opportunities for our youth. They just had a grand opening of an indoor soccer facility Saturday, and they are making this available to help give our youth something to do that's productive, as well as celebrate sports and the international festivities associated with soccer, and I'm proud to have them in the community.
Councilmember Holloman.
I just want to support Councilman Dominy's bill, but mostly because my wife just texted me and told me my 3-year-old wanted to see me on television, so I'm for it. Thank you.
All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2012-166 approves an agreement between Metro Government and Southern Land Company to repair a public combined sewer main and install one public manhole near 2300 Elliston Place. Councilmember Langster.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Having been approved by all committees, I move for approval.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2012-167 approves an agreement between Metro Government and 40th Avenue Church of Christ for construction of a water main within the 40th Avenue North right-of-way from Charlotte Avenue to Catherine Johnson Parkway. Councilmember Langster.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Having been approved by all committees, I move for approval, please.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2012-168 amends the official street and alley acceptance and maintenance map by abandoning a portion of Elm Hill Pike right-of-way. Councilmember Gilmore.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Move for approval.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2012-169 amends the official street and alley acceptance and maintenance map by abandoning a portion of Pittman Place and Rosemont Avenue right-of-way and easements. Councilmember McGuire.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. All committees having reported, I would move approval.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Oh, no, sorry. Sorry, I've lost a page. Sorry, we're not adjourned. Everybody stay where you are. Whoops. BL 2012-170, an ordinance to amend the official street and alley and acceptance map for the metropolitan government by changing the name of a portion of Terrace Summit Avenue. Councilmember Harrison.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. All committees in. I move for approval.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2012-171, an ordinance to amend the official street and alley acceptance and maintenance map for the Metro Government of Nashville by abandoning a portion of Jefferson Street. Councilmember Gilmore.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. All committee reports in. I move for approval.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. BL 2012-172, an ordinance to amend the official street and alley acceptance and maintenance map for metropolitan government in Davidson County by abandoning a portion of the unnumbered alley right-of-way and easements. Councilmember Scott Davis.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Committee reports, please.
All are in.
Okay. I move for approval.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Now is there a motion to adjourn? Sorry, Councilmember Tiger.
Commander Pardue just texted me and wanted to make sure that Doug is going to go straight home after the meeting.
Happy 4th.